So today, one of the things I'm going to talk about is service. Service is a huge selling point and a huge opportunity to actually really build up your business, and to an extent where it's not only just referrals, but it's customer loyalty, and it's building up to that funnel, that pipeline, to a point where people are just throwing business at you so much that you don't even know what to do, and it's building those deeper relationships. It's not just knowing your customer, to what their birthdays are and everything along those lines. It's also knowing about their personal lives, what's going on. They come to you, they ask you for things, they talk to you about it. Builds up to more than just a client and vendor relationship. It builds up to an actual friendship, and that's a huge selling point. So how do you do that a lot of times? Well, one thing is that if you ever read the book, I have it around here, hold on a second. Where is it? Bear with me for a second. Bear with me. Is it? Well, it's somewhere around here. Oh, here it is. Swim with the Sharks by Harvey McKay. So Harvey talks about servicing clients, and that's a big part of it. And this book was written back in the 80s, and he's done phenomenal for himself. And one of the things he actually talks about, and what he has in here, is called the McKay 66, which you build up questions and you build up things about your client that you can refer back to. Knowing the birthdays, knowing the kids' birthdays, knowing anniversaries. These are things that I feel like are getting lost in today's society. Also, what happens though is that he actually. What this can do is that you can use this Harvey McKay, and you could find this information out in today's society. I mean, it's so simple with social media and the internet. You can find out all this information very quickly. So servicing your clients, knowing what it is. And I talked to someone the other day, a couple weeks ago actually. I had breakfast with him, and he's a very successful insurance agent. And he said, I said, I have this insurance agent, and this is something I want to bring up, is that I'll kind of block out the top, but I got this letter in the mail, or I should say my wife got this letter in the mail about our term life insurance, and that now she can get term part of it into permanent insurance, regardless. Is that, and this is not even from the person who's our agent. Now, the point of all this conversation is that the agent that we signed up with our life insurance over almost 2 years ago, way before we had our baby, who's turning 16 months tomorrow actually, we found out that they haven't contacted us. There was one time that I've heard from them, was because we were possibly switching over to another agent, and that actually is going to be true, but they haven't called us about congratulating on the baby. There hasn't been anything about birthdays, anniversaries, none of that. And you know what, I talked to this agent, and he said that, well, for every insurance agent to do that to every client would be very hard. However, you're absolutely right. However, you can label your clients as A, B, and C to an extent where who gives you business, who's able to give you business, and who doesn't, and who's just a colleague, and you have to define on what levels you want those. Obviously, A being your top clients, C being those ones that are just going to be there just to be there. And you have to determine how many clients you want in each category. And to be quite honest with you, I would want all my clients today. So I don't care what the time takes. I mean, you can delegate a lot of this stuff out, and it's simply just sending a card or calling them, and that stuff doesn't take more than 10 to 15 minutes in the very most. And some clients, you can go a lot further as far as taking them out to breakfast or dinner for the birthday or whatever the case may be. But remembering stuff like that, and doing things like sending them a Thanksgiving card, holidays that you normally wouldn't get a card from, those are things that you can really service your client. And to be quite honest with you, I have a client of mine who, or not a client, but she's a good friend of mine, and we do a lot of networking together, and I'm actually going to be switching over to her because she's not only handled our health insurance quite well, she's always looking out for us, and she's doing the better job. She services better. She gets stuff when we need things done. She gets it done. I mean, my wife had just switched over to health insurance on that, and she couldn't find a doctor in the area or a pediatrician in the area. And so I talked to, her name is Alexandra, and I'll give her a plug. Alexandra, she called her, left her. I talked to her. She said shoot her email with the whatever she was looking, what Jasmine was looking for, my wife, and she went ahead and did that. And within a day, she got information back. And I know that Alexandra didn't do it herself, but she has people who do it for her. But it's fantastic. That's service. That's what you can do. I'm going to be a lifelong client of Alexandra's because of that stuff. And not only that, but she's giving us quotes on different areas in which we need stuff. She's not pushing us on anything. She's looking out for the better need. We're going to get more coverage on our insurance and for less cost. I mean, who else could do that? I mean, what other person would you really want who's going to be looking out for you, who's really part of your team? And that's an asset. And that's what you should be doing with your clients. Build up and create a service that is just far and beyond what you would ever expect, and do things beyond what normal people do, and you will have lifelong customers. I promise you that. Contact me at brandon@peppergroup.com. Follow me at all the following. Thanks.